sisters and my brothers. We'll cross the same finish line together. Let's be better, 'cause it's now or never to make the world a better place. Think of all that we'll discover when we love one another.
Welcome to a little slice of something real. I'm talking about Rob and Sky, two musicians who don't just write songs, they live them. They took this idea, that love's the only thing worth fighting for, and turned it into the song, When We Love One Another. Picture this, elementary kids running wild, laughing, no agenda, just pure joy. That's what these two wanted you to feel first. Not politics, not headlines, just people, kids, and a tune that says, hey, maybe we're all on the same side. They're about to sit down and talk it out, why they wrote it, who they wrote it for, and why a country beat feels right when the world's too loud. So lean in, this one's for all of us. Now here's Rob and Sky with the Trout. Enjoy.
How did you meet? I don't think I asked you. How did you guys meet?
Yeah, we had a mutual music friend. Actually, I say a music friend. It's one of our guitar players that plays with us, that frequents with us, and he had been playing with Robert for a while. And me and him had another band together. We had the Skylar Wallace band that played locally here in Birmingham. And I actually think Robert may have been kind of under the weather, I think, for a wedding.
Oh, that's true. It seems to
Yeah,
happen.
you were a little under the weather. I want to say this was back in, God, I don't even know, February, March of this past year.
Yeah, it was a wedding. It was a wedding, and so we
Were you at the wedding or performing at the wedding?
He was performing.
Oh, okay, all right.
And so it was that time of year, like at this time of year. I mean, we can get this later, but I was a school teacher, an elementary teacher. Like I get exposed to
everything,
yeah, all the time. And so I have to stay on top of it. But we were playing a wedding, and Andrew was my guitar player at the time, and Skylar was there as well. And it was the first couple songs. Got up here on stage. It's like I'm not going to do it. Skylar, I knew Skylar could sing. I'd heard her before, and Andrew had been pushing to get her on stage with me before, and I was like, hey, can you do this? Can you get up here with us?
So you're at a wedding. This is at a wedding.
This
is a reception. A reception.
Gotcha. Okay, all right.
And she gets up here on stage. First song, I can't, probably Gunpowder and Lead or something.
Yeah, I actually think it was. Yeah.
Everybody got up and ran to the stage. It was like, this is the best thing ever.
It was so fun. I ended up playing the rest of the whole wedding with y'all.
Yeah,
it was so fun.
That dude there, get him off stage. Keep her up there. Get off. Dude, get off.
Exactly how it went, too. That's exactly how it went.
It was awesome.
Like,
this is so how did it come about, though, that you guys, because you said you live in Birmingham, right?
I do, yes. Okay. I'm in Birmingham.
So how did it come about that somebody said, hey, why don't you come up here and do a gig at Jelly Rolls or whatever you want, or wherever you were doing, and or maybe you were doing something down in Alabama or something like that?
Yeah.
Well, so the people that have booked me over the years in downtown Nashville, when it started way back when, also I got on the phone with him. It's been a little over a year ago, and my drummer had been playing with several bands. His name is Brandon, and Brandon told me that Brad, the guy that had been booking shows up in downtown Nashville, I was like, hey man, he's at it again. There's a new bar opening up downtown called Jelly Rolls, and he might be able to get you in. So I never played there. And I've checked it out. It was really nice. And so I gave him a call, and he got us up there, and we kind of tried to figure out what slots worked for me. Playing on the weekends, like Fridays and Saturdays, having a regular Friday and Saturday night gig just wasn't going to work.
Mm-hmm.
So he figured a Sunday afternoon would be perfect. And we would get, like, during football season and Predators and baseball, all those seasons, there's lots of games and things going on Sundays. And usually I'd be back in town. And so that was the perfect time slot. And it's kind of a coveted time slot too for musicians that travel and play a good bit. And
it was on a Sunday, wasn't it? Is that what you're talking about? Sunday afternoon. Yeah, okay.
Sunday 2 to 6.
Yeah.
and we're one of the few bands that have been there since it started. They've others have moved on and they've replaced a few others, but and so I guess I don't know. I can't remember exactly how long ago it was
It was
that
at
I
the
taught
wedding.
Skylar.
Yeah, at the
But
wedding, I think I was like, I made a kind of like a joke and was like, hey, if you ever want any extra help on Sundays, like I'd
yeah,
be happy to come up. And you were like, sold, let's do it.
yeah,
And I think I just kind of, I wouldn't go away after that.
yeah.
I just
Well,
stuck to you.
yeah, and for those people who know, like, and there's a lot of talented people, obviously downtown Nashville, uh,
Really?
playing these shows.
Really? There's
But that
people?
girl right there
I'm shocked.
is she has got some pipes on her, and there's we've never played a show downtown where somebody has not approached Skylar or me, or sent us a follow up message on Facebook or Instagram or wherever to say like, you guys really, we were there all weekend and you were the best band there, and that means a lot because there's a
It's
lot.
the
Sure.
best feeling.
Yeah,
It's really the best feeling. It,
Yeah.
it it feels like all of your work pays off. Everything that, the drive or the whatever, it's like it's a great thing to hear. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, you want to, and I say this to people all the time. When you walk on stage, it's your job. People like you just the moment you walk on stage. They have no reason not to like you.
Right. Yeah.
It's your job as a performer to keep them liking you.
Yeah.
That's that's
Right.
Yeah,
that's it. So
yeah,
if you go up there and after 10 minutes they go, hmm.
Yeah.
But if you go up there and one of the hardest things is always for me when I played a lot was people come up and tell me how, oh man, your guitar playing is great. I'm a lead guitar player.
Yeah.
So,
Awesome.
and I just always said, hey, it's a gift. I don't, even though I've got an ego, my wife will tell you that. I'm a lead
Right.
guitar player, for God's sake.
Right.
I'll tell you, right behind me is my Marshall amp, so that should tell you everything you want to know. But anyway, but that feeling is, and I've said this to people too, and I've asked some very famous people this, or mentioned it to them, and you guys know this feeling. And that means the night that everybody seems to know what everybody's thinking the moment you do it. You're all just like in sync. You can
Yeah.
play all the time and still sound good, but there are certain nights that are just something different
They're
going on.
yeah,
magical. Yeah.
yeah,
And
Yeah.
and I've told people, and I said, if you could, and I've asked them, people that famous, but they, oh yeah, you're right, I know exactly what it is. If you could bottle that up and then put in the fact that the audience is one with you,
Yeah.
you can't get any better than that.
no, no,
Except when you write your own song and they start singing it back to you.
Right.
yeah,
Right.
Then you've reached the epitome of like, oh, this is
Right.
okay. It
yeah,
doesn't, people ask you, why do you do it? That's why you do it. So last year you won an award from the Alabama people for the best
Yeah.
country artist.
Yeah.
But also you have worked with your father, is that correct?
I have, yeah, yeah. And we still like, collab or we write together, we co-write a lot, things like that. Yeah.
And I assume he's a country artist too, or what does he do? I mean,
Yeah, he doesn't really tour quite as much as he used to. He kind of sticks more to like session work and just the writing side of things now that he's a little bit older. And he does still play on stage. Like he's got a big 70s cover band that tours and
what does he
travels.
play? Is there the guitar
He plays
people?
guitar, yeah, and
Okay.
he like dabbles with other things, but mainly guitars is his biggest focus. So yeah, but like back in the day, like he was signed to Sony, and toured and traveled and all of the things, and he was up against like Boot Scoot and Boogie for an award for his line dance song, line dance of the year, and so yeah, he's had his fun and the music business and just likes to give me tips and tricks. And then my mom also in the music industry, so it's
What does
fun to
she do?
get to.
What does she do?
She toured with Confederate Railroad, so
Okay.
they called them the Trashettes. So
I didn't
I
know
used to love to give my mom heck.
that.
I went to a Christian school, okay, and I'd be like, yeah, my mom's a trashy woman.
Oh, that's
She's a
funny.
trashy woman. Yeah, so
So you've been
Hallelujah.
exposed to the business, the good. You know what's good and bad before you got into it.
yeah, and I think I tried to listen with caution and kind of stay guarded and everything. A lot of people like to make a lot of promises, and you kind of have to.
What?
Yeah, right. I know. I mean, really, like when Robert came into my life, they're like, now who is this Robert guy? Like, who is he really? You know?
And Robert and I had this conversation that I've been lucky enough to know a lot of people now that I can introduce other people to that are
Yeah.
trustworthy.
Yeah.
And I've interviewed a lot of younger artists that are just coming up, and parents don't know anything. They're not that music. They're
Right.
not in the business. But what was your first, did you start playing an instrument young or did you start singing?
Yeah, no, I actually started, I had kind of always, just like as a kid, like kids do, like I sang and I would write little, things. And my grandpa would follow me around with a tape recorder. That's what, he would follow me around with
Oh,
and he
he'll
would
use that
record.
against you later. I know
Oh,
that.
I have all of the recordings. They're in my possession. When he passed away, that was like the
Oh,
first thing, stuff
oh,
that I
dang.
grabbed. But yeah, so I was always kind of singing and writing little stuff. And then my dad, I'll never forget it. I want to say it was like a birthday when I was maybe 5, but like you just have these core memories, right? And I like came home and he came to town to visit me for this birthday or Christmas, whatever it was. And there was like a box and like, I remember it because the box at the time was larger than me because I
Mm.
was little and I was short and it was a guitar and it was like wow, like this is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. And it was just this little black guitar. My daughter actually has it now. I gave it to her to be her first guitar. And I was like, this is magical. And from then on, I just started playing guitar. And I'm not a lead player at all. Like we're lucky when I can play some good rhythm, okay? But
Can't play
But
the acoustic like
you
me.
even if you don't even play, you can still look good up there.
I can still pretend, and
Don't
they
t
they love
don't
it.
turn Sky's mic up again. Turn him down. Turn it down. Well, let's get to the other part of it too, because the fact that as I said earlier, I've known Robert, I guess now 3 or 4 years. It's been a while.
Yeah.
We've known each other. Um, he was kind enough to send me, which he does occasionally. Luckily last year it was a year ago that you came to me and said, "Hey, can you get the horns on this song?" That
Yeah.
whatever. I
That's
can't
right.
remember the name of that song now.
Changed my
Uh,
mind.
Changed my mind. Yeah, it's a great tune. So I said, "Yeah, I'll do that." But he sent me the song, and what's the name? I always forget. It's got love in it. What's the title of the song that we're going to talk about? The Christmas, the thing
When
you
we
just
love
put
one
up.
another.
When we love
Oh
one
yeah.
another. I don't know why I have this thing about
I'm
it.
like, oh yeah, like I don't know what song we're talking about. Like, oh yeah, that one.
So I listened to it, and it's typical Robert song. And the thing about his songs that I like, and he knows this, I've told him this stuff, is it's always upbeat,
Yeah.
and he's always got a good hook going into it. So when you get through listening to his music, and I'm sure that's the way when you guys play out, you feel good.
Yeah.
You know, you feel good. You don't feel like I want to go out and, do something. I'm depressed already. I want another beer. Who am I going home with tonight? No, not her. Okay, whatever. But it makes me feel good. So as soon as I listen or I watch the video, I turn to my wife. We were laying back. I said, "Hey, you got to watch Robert's new song." And she goes, "That's really good." But the thing you don't know, Sky, is the fact that I ran 6 boys and girls clubs before I retired. That was
Oh
my
wow.
last job. I was president of several. And the first thing that came, and I told Robert this, the first thing that came to my mind when I saw that video was, how long did it have to take him to get to parents to sign off on all these kids? That was the first thing
You
I
know,
thought about.
he actually called me. I don't know if it was the day of or whatever, and he's like, I'm trying to manage like all of these permission slips and parents and kids, and he was like, "How far away are you?" I'm like, "3 hours. I'm coming." Like,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
The amount of hectic things that had to happen to pull that video off, it
yeah,
was absolutely insane, especially the day of. And I can get in that later if you want to, but
Well,
um,
I can, and I talk about, we're going to talk about it again, but here's the thing. I know how, and I told him this, and I'll tell you something. I know how much work goes into that stuff.
oh yeah,
And the time that it took you to shoot it, well, I was shocked when he told me. But
yeah.
you got it, and the thing about it is you got to stop and you got to replay it. You got to mix, okay, you got to run, but sound, you got to go back and make sure you're in sync and all that good stuff. And because people know you're singing to your song, and it's like you can't mess up a song you wrote,
right, yeah.
And how many of us have gone up, I've done, and get on stage and it's a song I wrote, and somebody goes, "Well, Rick, let's go," and I go, "I don't remember this song. You wrote
Well,
it." Give me
Right.
the first three. Give me the first three lyrics. Okay. So so when you're doing it, and then you're under the you got, and I'm sure the whole time you were doing this, you have an audience.
Yeah, so the fun thing was we definitely had an audience.
I mean,
We had
obviously parents and kids, but mostly
parents
kids,
and
probably.
kids. Yeah. We had, once we got the permission slips signed, everything in on shooting day, I'd invited the parents to actually, if they wanted to come and watch, they could. But we had so much going on. Like there was just, I mean, trying to organize, making sure certain kids didn't get on the bus. I mean, it's a minor thing you think, but no, that's a huge deal when you're trying to round up 50 kids
Yeah.
and they've signed permission forms. They're supposed to stay after school. I don't want kids on the bus going home and the parents were expecting them to stay after school with
And
me. And
some
so,
young. I mean,
and
yeah.
I,
Oh
and
yeah, they were
so
young.
yeah, and I'm running all over the school trying to track kids down, making sure they're where they're supposed to be. In the meantime, I hadn't heard from my own son, who's he's in basic training, and we're about to go up to see him in a couple of days, and I hadn't heard from him in 2 weeks. And he calls me right in the middle of this, like me trying to
Yeah.
track people down. And I'm on the phone with
Perfect
him.
timing.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he's like, "Hey, Dad," he's like, he's trying to tell me all this stuff, and he's like, and I'm like, "Where's Kyson? Somebody tell me where." Hey, Eli, I'm sorry. I mean, it was. Oh, it was awful. And I asked him to call me back in 10 minutes. Well, he calls me 10. This is right at school's over with. He
Right.
calls me 10 minutes later, and I still hadn't found Kyson. Now I'm running all over the school. Finally figured out that somebody had grabbed him. He was going to Boys and Girls Club, and somebody grabbed him out of line and pulled him where he was supposed to be.
Yeah.
But the day before, Action or Cordell Beatty, he came up to the school and we kind of mapped out what we're going to do. He knew that we were on borrowed time. We had an hour and a half to go from start to finish,
And
and we
that's
had it
nothing.
mapped out
That's no,
exactly what we
yeah.
were going to do.
Yeah.
And we did. We had people wandering the halls. We had, parents that were there watching. We had a photographer there. We had a lot of things going on at once, but it was uh, absolutely amazing experience for those
Oh,
kids,
yeah.
and not being able to hear. We couldn't hear the music
Couldn't hear anything.
because we gave them instruments. You can kind of see it in the video. We gave them like they had ukuleles and drums and everything else. And so they're just beating the crap out of these drums
This
and
little speaker
tambourines and
playing the
stuff.
song.
And we had a speaker this big playing,
Yeah.
growing
Playback.
between me and Skylar, and we could hardly hear it. And
I think at one point we looked at each other and just started laughing, and they like swarmed around us and like ran down the hall with their instruments, and
oh
we're
my God,
just like
they were
can't hear the
they were
song.
they were so excited. It was supposed to be a Mardi Gras kind of march down the
Okay.
hallway,
Right.
just like a marching band, and
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
we're picking up kids as we go, and like she just said, eventually they were just so excited they just marched right on past me and Skylar, and so we ended up being in the middle of
Pushing us out of the
it.
way. This is our song.
But it actually ended up working. It actually worked out pretty good. That They ended up passing us, and we were kind of just stuck in the middle of them. So
Yeah, I
anyway,
do. I do remember that. Yeah, there's a couple scenes. I remember seeing it. So whose idea was it to come up with the little the lyrics on the boards?
that was mine. I had done that in
Yeah.
a previous video years before, with another song, and I thought it would be cute to do that with them and just find a few kids that could probably stand out on camera and put it on there. We didn't actually get all the kids in there that had a sign. It
Well, you didn't
turns
have
out
enough time. You can't. Yeah,
right,
you didn't
yeah. I
have
mean,
time.
3.5 minute video, you can only put so much in there.
But I think in your situation it worked out really well because it brought in individual kids.
Yeah.
Because then they can go like, I was in it, but you weren't. Look at me, I'm all over the place.
So,
So
yeah.
Skylar, when did you first hear the song?
We
And
were
what form was it when you heard it?
It was
How
a
long
demo.
was
It
it?
was just like a rough demo. And I
Okay.
want to say we had gotten done playing like a string of shows. It was like, I want to say we left on like a Thursday. And it was like a private, I want to say it was a private gig that we did up in like, we started in Nashville, then went to Kentucky and then around and back to Nashville. And we were in the truck driving back from a gig after being up at night and everything. We were tired and we were like song shopping, as you do when you're trying to figure out what you want to put on an album or an EP or anything. You get things pitched to you or you have a catalog of songs that you've written. So we were kind of just shopping through, seeing what we might want to potentially add. And Robert was like, "Hey, I have this song. Why don't listen to it and see what you think about this one. And so he just turns it up in the truck. We got some of the other guys with us
It
in the
was on your
band.
phone, wasn't it?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was on his phone. Yeah,
Was it a scratch or was it the
just a
original?
little
Because you told
demo.
me you'd written it like years before.
Yeah, it'd been about
Yeah,
4 or 5 years ago.
But
yeah,
was
just a little
did it
scratch
already
demo.
have music with it when you heard
It's
it?
just acoustic.
Yeah.
Just you. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so he turns it on and I mean not even 10, 15 seconds into the song, I'm like, yeah, like this is great, and it was so positive and like just you felt so much joy listening to it. Kind of like what you said, like it's his stuff is very, uplifting and it's very bright and we really wanted something like that for the album anyways. And so it was just an automatic list. And we like had songs that you put up with other contender songs and like they're going against each other and you're gonna choose. This one didn't even have a contender. It was just top of
Mm.
the list.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So
Well,
um
I think in a lot of times
yeah,
and there's also times that you don't know.
yeah.
And the music industry is littered with people that thought this record would do well, but it was not even that record at all. People listened to it was something else they recorded at the same time. When I listened to it, and I don't know if I ever said this to you, Robert, before, but I'm always disappointed that you don't have better better followers, more people watching your stuff. Because I've seen you've become a better songwriter since I've known you. But when you bring stuff out, and I'm going like, okay, that should do well. And to me, I sometimes, and I know you probably do the same thing. It's kind of like, well, why isn't this doing better?
I think what happened to me um, I think early on when I first started doing this, I would put a lot of energy into one song
Mm,
and really try to get it out. And the songs weren't good enough. Like I could listen to songs that I did 10 years ago, and some of those I would be like, I would
yeah.
never
What was I
put
thinking?
that
Yeah,
song out now.
yeah,
And I've learned and I've grown and I've learned from other songwriters. But I get to this point in my life where I just enjoy what I do,
right.
and if this sometimes it things that happen organically, and you see it happen all the time, and on social media somebody does something that's just organic and it works. And for me, I just with the way record labels have been the past several years, just trying to put a song out, you just never know where to aim your song. Sometimes you just got to write it, do a good job on it, polish it up, put it out there, and sometimes see if it takes a life of its own.
I think Skylar, when you got in this business, what was your goal? And I just asked somebody else the other day. So what if you had a wave a
Yeah.
wand and money was no object? What would you want to do in with what you know about music that you do
I
now?
could say the really like answer that you expect everybody to give. It's like I want to sell out stadiums or
A
whatever.
lot
But
of
like
people don't tell me
ultimately,
that. Some people don't want to do
really,
that.
well, really, well, I
Yeah,
think
it's amazing. Yeah,
I think for me personally, like I want it to be what is my full-time just job. Like I truly just like yeah, I want to sell places out and like I want to hear my songs on the radio and
sure.
like whatever. Do I necessarily want to be Taylor Swift? I no, like I think that it's
Brilliant, brilliant business person.
oh my gosh,
Yeah.
she's phenomenal. Like I am a big Swiftie lover. Um, but like, I'm kind of one of those people that's like, as long as I'm doing what I love and I'm doing it for the right reasons and like I that's all that matters to me.
I think at
Like
the end of the day,
and if
if you
I can make
enjoy
some
it,
money off of it and like if I can support my kids, like and I think as a mom that's how I think, right? Like I'm like I want to
sure.
support my kids. Like I want to get to do what I'm passionate about and what brings me joy and fills my cup. And what an honor to get to do that and to be able to support my family in the process. And I think that I mean, that's what I want. That's my goal. Do I want to sign a record deal? Yeah, I'd love to sign a record deal. Will it happen? I don't know. Only time will tell. You just got to keep pushing and keep dreaming and working hard at it and making connections and playing and see where the road takes you. So,
I think the thing about it is more and more people, and you both know this, are going independent because they
Yeah, I
don't
was
like
just
the
about to
they
say
don't
independent. Yeah.
and but hard, this is the thing I think that's hard for people like you, both you independent artists. It's a lot. It's You're a mother.
Yeah.
Robert has a job.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a family too. He has a family too. It's
Yeah.
hard to donate, even people that are very well off and I mean do
Yeah.
well, to donate the time because you're running a business.
Yeah.
You know, I know a couple out of Oklahoma that have started to make it big, and they just did some stuff. She's written a lot of stuff for like Hallmark movies, and they travel.
Yeah.
She books all the gigs. They're gone
Yeah.
all the time, but they don't have any kids.
Yeah.
And
See, but the dream though is for the kids to be able to come, to be on the
sure,
tour bus, for grandma to retire and be stay-at-home grandma on the tour bus,
and you're
and
the only one on a tour bus, just your
right?
family.
No, Robert's there too. Robert
Well,
is
no,
there
I don't
too.
mean it that way. I mean like you're not in a berth with the other 20 people that are
Right.
in the
Right.
band, you know.
I have my
Are
own
you,
bus.
Sky, are you
Me and
asleep
Robert
yet?
have our own buses.
I mean, that's the funny thing. I grew up watching ZZ Top in Texas. They asked him when they finished there before Dusty died, how did they stay together for 50 years? And the answer was they all had three separate buses. That's probably tongue in cheek, but they probably meant it to a certain degree.
Well,
I can definitely see that. I mean,
and then
you
look
never
at what
know.
happened to Fleetwood Mac. You gotta,
Yeah.
sometimes the same bus doesn't do you justice.
No. You're on stage with them, you get through all the stuff and all that stuff that
Right.
goes with it. There's a chemistry for both of you that shows up. I have friends that used to know people in the movie business or TV business. There is certain chemistry that people have with the camera. They
Yeah.
do. And some people you can put in front of the camera, you go, nah. But other people you go, okay, there's something about that. When you guys do your thing together, I'm not going to tell you anything you don't already know, Skylar. You have a lot of energy. That's
Oh
true.
yeah. Yeah. Really. Really.
Let me just tell
Yeah.
you, like one of the
No.
biggest things that energized me was, I've been doing this for a while, and anybody that's good, guitar player, drummer, whatever, you have to be able to feed off the other people around you,
Sure
Yeah.
you do.
Oh yeah.
in order to create chemistry. And so the first time that Skylar got on stage, the very first time, at that wedding, it instantly gave me a different vibe on stage to feed off of. And once we started playing these shows together, and especially downtown, playing in downtown Nashville,
Yeah.
one of the great things about Skylar is the second the lights come on, she's a pro. She's a real pro, and she attacks a microphone.
I eat it.
She she does to the point I got to keep turning it down. She
You
got
don't
some
have to
five
tell her to
stars.
stop being shy. You don't have to
I
tell her that.
know, no, she sings on
He
pitch
actually,
though.
no, the
She has
first
a
time
lot
we
of
met, he
energy
told me
behind
I'm gonna have to turn it down a little.
it.
Well,
But we all feed off that energy, and
sure you do.
it makes everybody better. And I like surrounding myself with people that are better than me. I'm not the best guitar player. I'm not the best vocalist. And I'm definitely not the best drummer. None of the things that I do on stage am I the best at. Uh, but
He undersells himself. He's phenomenal. He's
well,
absolutely phenomenal.
but surrounding myself with incredible people, it definitely elevates
Sure it
my game.
does. If you continue to do what you like every day and get up there and
Yeah.
it shows, like you said, that breeds more people wanting to come see you.
Yeah.
I'm a big believer. How many bands I've been in? We always spend all this time trying to figure out the name of the band. What are we going to call the band? What are we going to call the band?
Right.
At the end of the day, nobody cares.
Right.
They don't care. You could call yourself Dirt, and if you're good, to go. Have you going to go see Dirt tonight? Yeah,
You
of
want to go see
course. We're
Dirt?
going tonight.
Yeah.
I was in a band
Well,
once, and my friend said, "What are we going to call it?" He says, we're going to call us. What did he say? Uh, Live music.
yeah.
I go, what? He said, how many times you going to buy a marquee that said live music tonight?
Right.
I
Well,
thought, I thought it was hilarious. I go, why not? What do you play? I play live music.
I love
Anyway,
it. And I'll say too, like even playing into that, like talking about, the chemistry and everything, like having like and who you surround yourself with, like our band, like we're just family, and I think that so many musicians search for so long for that family, right? Like they
yeah,
search for the people that they just work with, and that there's not the drama, and there's not the the competition, the competitiveness, and there's not but like when we're on stage together, like we can make eye contact and know what the other person is thinking, or like Robert can look at a guitar player and just
He
look at him a
knows.
certain way, and he knows. Robert can look at me and I'm like, okay, I need to sing harmony on this a certain way, or or he's saying, hey, I'm not feeling good today, I need you to jump in on this high note right now.
Yep.
And then I don't do it, and he's like,
Yeah. You didn't get this? I would tell you. That was
but it is like there is such a difference though when you do have that camaraderie and you have that family aspect of it. And like there is not, and I'm so serious, and I'm sure Robert feels the same way. There's not a single guy in this band that I don't feel like I could call broken down on the side of the road at 3 o'clock in the morning and they wouldn't be there to help me. Like
Yeah.
that's just the family that we are,
well,
and
and
it
the
makes
thing
a
I
huge
like
difference.
the thing I like about bands is all the inside jokes that nobody gets
Right?
besides
Yeah.
you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
A few of
Yeah.
those.
And you
Everybody
do
know. I mean, you
build.
know what they are, and everybody goes, "What are you guys all
Yeah.
laughing about?" It doesn't matter. We know what we're
It
talking
doesn't
about.
matter. And you build that like on the road, and when you're going on these little mini tours, or you're going out of state traveling in one very small vehicle with, each other, and you're stuck with each other for hours and hours on end. Like you do, build a relationship that other people don't get and don't see, and it's so special.
But adding Skylar to it, if it was the right choice, absolutely. And then we decided to record the choir of my students at school.
So, yeah.
That was a different component. And then we got through with that. I was like, we have to shoot this video with these kids. And didn't really know what it was going to look like. I just knew that I had to get them in it. And it turned out to be the most amazing hour and a half of production that I've ever done.
We all meet in the middle. Yeah, it's simple to be civil and show a little grace. Come on, all my sisters and my brothers. We'll cross the same finish line together. Let's be better, 'cause it's now or never to make the world a better place. Think of all that we'll discover.